Now the next thing we need to do is we need to cut notches in this log, kind of in a little V fashion, to the depth of this line. Because as I'm looking down from my eye down, I'm looking at this chalk line, and all the wood on that side of the chalk line needs to come off. If we had a mill, we could run this through the mill and be done with it, but we don't have a mill. We've only got hand tools. So do it with hand tools. We use the chalk line, and then what we're going to do is what we call scoring to the line, which you chop down to that depth, the entire length of that log. Now I'm not going to do the whole length of this log. Not particularly cooperating here. But the idea is you would make these V notches all the way down the length of this log to this depth. Once you do that, you need to use another tool. So it's not critical to take off all that wood with that first axe. But the next step would be to use this tool, which takes off the wood in between. This is called a broad axe. Okay? If you look at a broad axe, one of the main things is on a true broad axe, it's all flat on one side and you have an angle on the other side. And if you look at the handle has a bend to it. See, that's not all straight up and down. And it's like that for a reason. Because one of the ways that you use this tool, when you go to cut, the log is on your side right here, and you come right straight up and down beside your leg. Okay? Some guys might stand like this, some might stand up on top of the log, some might stand over here. But the way that I've seen it done most effectively, and it's actually the easiest to do once you get the skill level, is actually stand right beside the log, and you come down beside the log. You don't want to go beyond that blue mark. You just want to go down to the depth that you made your notches. Okay? And the beauty of this thing is, as long as you don't hit your leg on the downstroke, if this bounces off the log, this is what hits your leg. Okay? And bounces off this way. We'll try this out here a little bit. These are the kind of wood chips you get with the broad axe, okay? Little wood chips with the single bit of the crosscut or the double bit axe. But these big ones, this broad axe is what takes off this side material. Now you do that the whole length of the log. Once you did the whole length of the log, then you rotate it. I'm not going to rotate this. You can rotate it like this, but since this side's already fairly flat, we're going to use another tool to demonstrate, because once you get this side fairly squared off, then you need another tool to make it pretty smooth. So you'd score to the line, that's your vertical notches into the blue, then you would hew to the line with your broad axe, go down the whole length of the log. Once you got that done, you'd rotate it a quarter turn, and you do the next side. Score to the line, hew to the line, quarter turn. You do all four sides. Once you got that done, and you needed to smooth that out. this isn't perfectly smooth and you want it pretty smooth, it's going to be in your house or at church, so you need to use this sort of tool. This is called an adze. And one of the easiest kind of things to remember with adze, the kind of work that they do, you've got those wooden chairs at home, wooden chairs at your dining room table. You've got that divot, you know, where you sit, where you put your butt, okay? That divot is made by a type of an adze, either handmade or they have industrial spinning blades that actually will cut that out these days. But back then they didn't have that kind of equipment. They just have your various types of adze. And the way that would work is you'd get up on the log or beside it and you would cut on the top and smooth that out. And you'd work that way all the way down the length of the log. What's the name of this tool?
Adze.
Adze, very good. Now one way to check you got the right dimensions that you want is you can use your calipers. This is original calipers. These are wood calipers. You can use it before the tree's down or as the tree's up. Just take it up to the tree and you see what the dimensions is. You can, if you look close, you can still see the numbers on here. Okay, that's about 11. 3-footers are very common back here. 4-footers you can find. 5-footers are just over, are very rare. We do have some of those back up here in the park as well. But those are the kind of trees that they were interested in harvesting. Okay, so we'd use calipers to check our dimensions.